Hello Karkaza fans, this is Lilia. I am the guitarist, singer, and lyricist for Karkaza. And right now I'll tell you about each song on our third studio album, Let It Rise. So it opens with track number 1, that is Cetus. That is a piano instrumental, about 1.5 minutes in length. Cetus is a sea monster from Greek mythology, and that was the inspiration behind that ominous, gloomy mood in that piano track. Now, track number 2 is Reset. This one is about the feeling of battling your inner demons and winning. It shows the turmoil that you feel with internal conflicts, how it feels like the grip of death that's locking you in a chokehold, but about how you can realize how these monsters work and use that knowledge to find your strength to overcome. Now, when you watch the music video for Reset, you'll see that it's a reference of a lot of major world events that happened in the last few years. And it is because it's drawing that relationship between the internal conflicts and external conflicts. So basically, Reset is all about conquering conflict to reset life and resist fear. Liberty or Death. Now that one is about the spirit of bold independence. It's about realizing what you believe in and staying true to that. And the music video for it is also going to reference a lot of major world events about people fighting for their freedom and defending what they believe in. And that's something that resonates with us on a lot of levels. You know, we all need to have our set of values and be strong enough to stick with them. So track number 4 is No Time for Losers. That is the attitude of Karkaza. You know, losers will die and we got no time. We don't have time to deal with the bullshit. We know what we want to do. We want to pursue music. We love playing in our band, and we keep doing that. Whether someone gives us praise or harsh criticism, we know that we love what we do and we're going to keep moving forward. So we have No Time for Losers. Track number 5 is Mason-Dixon line. This is the first time that Karkaza has made an acoustic guitar and vocal track. It's just me playing guitar and singing. It's basically a love song to the South because it meant a lot to us when we moved from California to Alabama. We felt like we really came home, which is ironic because we haven't lived here in Alabama for that long. We moved in late 2020, but we instantly fell in love with it. And I felt like it has given me the freedom to move away from things in my past and become who I was truly made to be. That's what Mason-Dixon line is about. It's about how when I moved to this new home, I felt like I could shed some things that were not true to myself and become fully true to myself. And that's what living here has meant to me. Now, number 6 is Warmonger. This is Vladimir Putin's favorite song, or least favorite. It's about how horrible it is when somebody starts a war completely unnecessarily and makes the people suffer. It's about the corruption, the injustice, how he's like a vampire, and how his greed makes nations bleed. And Warmonger is very fun to play live. We love it. So that is what it's about. Track 7 is Brut of Vipers. This is about the spiritual hypocrisy. Now this one is interesting because, you know, myself and Bruno are both followers of God, so we're not criticizing established religion at all. We're not criticizing the Bible or the concept of God. We're actually pointing out some hypocrisy that comes out in certain elements of spirituality. some people who are big proponents of a certain kind of faith will become hypocrites because they say, oh, it has to be done exactly this way or exactly that way. It has to be this, it cannot be that. They're trying to hyper control what everyone does and thinks. And to us, that is not the true spirit of God. That's not what God is all about to us. So Brut of Vipers is pointing out some of that hypocrisy where people are just misinterpreting the message. Track 8 is Angels. This is basically a continuation of the ballad Gold, which was on our previous album, Time Has Come. Angels is about when you're in a situation, you have a lot of internal darkness, depression, misery, and you don't know when you're gonna get out of that. And eventually this saving grace comes and it makes you feel alive again. Now, what this is inspired by is something very unexpected. It's inspired by when you adopt a dog and you realize you both are practically the same. Think about it. What does a person going through depression have in common with a rescued dog? Well, both cases are someone who is in that state where they just don't know how they're gonna escape this misery. But when they meet each other, they can see, wow, we have a very similar story here. You know, a rescued dog is feeling helpless and hopeless there, maybe in the shelter or on the streets or in a puppy mill or being abused or something horrible like that. But eventually, if a loving person comes and adopts them, they feel like, wow, you're my angel. You saved me. Whereas when a person is in that state of depression and hopelessness, adopting a dog can make you feel alive again. You say, wow, who rescued who? That's what Angels is all about. And for me, I feel like that's the most emotional song on this album. Number 9 is Vengeance. That is the origin story of a psychopathic serial killer. And it's not about any one specific psychopath. It is about how that mentality of psychopathy originates. So you can find that this applies to a lot of different real life serial killers, malignant narcissists, and also to the movie villains. So it's about vengeance. Now, track 10, The Gunslinger. This is a very southern rock inspired track. I wrote the lyrics about Annie Oakley, who is one of the most impressive gunslingers in all of history. I saw a documentary on her and I was just so inspired by her strength, courage, and resilience, how she was a woman in a very male-dominated field. A place that has been historically one of the most male-dominated fields in all of history, gunmanship, and how she just didn't care. She did not let that faze her at all. In fact, she used it as fuel to her fire to become even better and better at what she did, and that incredible confidence and strength with which she approached life was so inspiring and empowering to me that I just had to write a song about her. So thank you, Annie Oakley, for the inspiration. So that is an overview of each song on Let It Rise. We are extremely proud of it, and it is definitely the best album we have made so far. So God bless all of you. Thank you so much for being part of the Karkaza community, and I'll see y'all next time.